Hi guys and welcome to Dee's Media World. Today we're doing episode 32 in my Inuyasha review series, Kikyo and Inuyasha Into the Miasma, which is a somewhat accurate title of the episode. It was actually Moroku, Kilala, Kagome Into the Miasma, but whatever. So this episode picks back up with Kikyo, who we haven't seen, I believe, since episode 23 or so like that. So it's been about 10 episodes since we've seen Kikyo. And we find out that she's helping out in the village, helping these I believe farmers who are in some kind of war. Because I remember I heard someone say, "I'm a farmer, not a warrior, or not a fighter, whatever." I don't know what they were doing, but it's the feudal ages. Anything can happen. Um, she's helping. She's helping there. Minding her own business, and then before she knows it, she's summoned to this castle. And when she gets to the castle, it looks like it's Naraku's castle. And one thing that cracked me up is that she's trying to go inside Naraku's room, who, he's under the disguise of Prince something, I don't remember his name. And she's like, she just walks right in. And for some reason, the guards don't stop her. They're like, hey, you're not supposed to go in there. Hey, wait. And they make no effort to stop her at all. So she walks in there, talks to him, and she's like, she can feel that this place is evil. Maybe the source of it is this prince. But what's interesting is that Naraku is really surprised to see her, and it didn't occur to me till then that I'm like, oh yeah, Naraku does not know that Kikyo is alive. Obviously he would not bring her back to life, but she's been alive since episode 15. And I was like, oh yeah, he just found out that Kikyo is alive and stuff. And he doesn't know how to feel, all that kind of stuff. Then we see that there's been the miasma, but also there's been like rain of demon parts just falling to the sky, falling on the ground and stuff like that, ruining crops and ruining the villages, and everyone's sick obviously if demon parts and stuff is falling down. And Kikyo also tries to leave. There's kind of sort of two storylines going on, and then they merge into one. Like, so Kikyo's with Naraku. Naraku won't let her leave. They even put her in prison. And she does something really interesting. So she uses her soul collectors to kill the guard by like taking his soul out. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, I don't remember that happening. Or maybe I wasn't paying attention. But when I was watching, I was like, what? I didn't know she could do. Well, it makes sense she could do that, but it just was so messed up. So all this kind of leads to this demon tournament. Yasha and the group, they get there. I call it a demon tournament because that's sort of what it is. These demons, if you lose, then you die, and then the demons basically take your power with you. So it all merges into one. And Inuyasha, being the idiot that he is, keeps fighting this demon. All it took was for this demon to say like, oh, I have to fight you, or whatever, and Inuyasha just jumps in there with no second thoughts, like an idiot, and he's battling this whole episode, he's kind of battling these demons, without realizing, Moroku doesn't really explain it that well, to be honest. He beats around the bush. He really just should have said, if you win this fight, then you will be sucked into these demons, or these demons will be sucked into you, and who knows what will happen afterwards. That's the gist of what would happen. From my understanding. So why didn't he just say that? Moroku was giving him all these facts. Like, this is a spell from the Fuku time where demons and sorcery and da da da. I'm like, you know who you're talking to, right? Inuyasha is the kind of guy who you just have to say things bluntly and clearly. Just to me, I would have been like, what's your point? I mean, I was almost kind of on Inuyasha's side. Like, what's your point here? The point is, these demons will be sucked into you. Whatever, you won't be yourself if you win this battle. That's the whole idea here. And so that's going on, and Kikyo, is drawn to the mountain after she leaves Naraku's castle, I think. And what's interesting is that Kagome and Sango are outside the mountain, because Sango's still sick from that fight she had with Naraku. And she was gonna take Songo, I think, away from the mountain, but then the moment she sees Kikyo, she's like, "Oh, I can't let Kikyo in there with Inuyasha. Let me follow. I know it's trouble if Kikyo's in there." Yada yada. I just find that kind of funny on her behalf. Like, she could have taken Songo away, taken her down the stairs, whatever, a little bit, and then gone up there or something. I don't know. Let's see. Then Kagome goes in there. She actually almost loses the jewel shard, and she says she senses another jewel shard, whatever. Kagome, did Kagome do anything this episode? Like, when I finished this episode, I'm not done. I'm just basically telling you the details. That you guys are watching this, you should have seen it. You know what happened. But did Kagome actually contribute in this episode? Like, she does stuff, but it has no, like, consequences. It doesn't matter. She goes in there to save Inuyasha. Inuyasha's not paying her any attention. All she does do is basically get her feelings hurt, because Inuyasha's like, I'm gotta protect Kikyo, or whatever. You know, I'm not gonna stop fighting because I have to protect Kikyo. And then there's this Inuyasha. Then he sees Kagome, and then there's, like, I don't know, 5 seconds of complete silence where, that, I guess that's supposed to sink in for him. Like, oh, Kagome's there. Yeah, the whole kind of love triangle thing, but not really. It is kind of a love triangle, but not really situation. And you know, of course, Kagome's a little jealous. She even says so, but she's not angry or anything. And she goes to save Kikyo. That does nothing. Because, you know, Kikyo, you don't want to know Kagome's help. That was my point. Kagome didn't really do anything this episode. But getting to what happens after that, Kikyo shoots an arrow at Inuyasha's sword to stop him from finishing this fight. So the way that they interpreted, Kagome interpreted, was that Kikyo stopped Inuyasha so he wouldn't become part of Naraku. Which is true, because that's what would have happened. But then Naraku thinks later on she could have stopped the whole process if she shot that demon, the one that was fighting Inuyasha. From the understanding, if she just purified him, I guess that would have stopped Naraku from getting the body, because Naraku feels like Kikyo basically gave him that body, which I guess. I mean, Kikyo, we'll see what Kikyo's doing later, but I'm like, it's kind of both ways, I guess. In a way, maybe she did give Naraku that power. Or you could see it. It's kind of hard to tell with Kikyo. I'm leaning more to the side. She wants to find out probably what Naraku's up to. So, even though I think she still could have killed, if she killed the demon, maybe, I don't know. Kikyo's an interesting character. She really thinks through things, it feels like. So I don't know if she thought about the consequences of that. I don't know. We'll see in the next episode. Let's see. Any other things? When Kikyo falls down, and she falls for some reason very slowly and delicately for some reason. Don't know why. No purpose to that. It was just kind of funny. Like, maybe her body is so light that she falls down like she's a feather. I don't know. Let's see. I did have a question. So, when Naraku's sucking up all the bodies or whatever, where was Moroku and Kilala at that point? Obviously they got out alive, because, you know, they'll be in the next episode. But did they not get, I guess, I'm assuming they were still in the mountain. I'm assuming. And then Kagome and Inuyasha get out of that, which I was like, okay, they got, lucky them, they got out of that. And we're going to find out sooner or later what happened with Kikyo and Naraku. Yeah, but I don't know. This was an okay episode. It's not an episode I really give much thought to. It's kind of sort of a prequel episode. You know, some Kikyo stuff going on. Kagome really didn't. When I think about it, she really didn't do anything in this episode that mattered. Like, I know the only reason I can think of her being there is so she can feel some kind of way about Inuyasha and Kikyo. Even though this episode she didn't focus on it as much, but like, oh, you know, Inuyasha should feel guilty or whatever for saving Kikyo, whatever their relationship is, that kind of complex relationship that Inuyasha has with Kikyo and Inuyasha has with Kagome, and I know that's going to be kind of elaborated on in the next episode. But yeah, this is an okay episode. I don't really care. It's alright. Like, first, as far as Kikyo episodes go, there's much better. We've already seen better. than this. So, I mean, I think it gets better. I don't really remember. The next episode, I think, is something about... It's kind of continue. It's not really a continuation from this. Something about like dreams or something like that. Yeah, I'm actually missing Shishomaru at this point because we haven't seen him in a while. I think since like episode 18 or 19 or something like that. So I'm hoping. I think so. I think that's the last time we seen him was before Sango, but after Naraku came in. And I actually kind of miss him. So hopefully we see him soon. Yeah, I don't think I really have any other notes for this episode. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, yeah. It's kind of what it is. What are my feelings on the, Kikyo, Kagome, Inuyasha thing? In this episode, they don't focus on it too much, but, Kagome is, she has these feelings for Inuyasha, and Inuyasha at this point cares about her, but it's clear that there's obviously, a relationship he still sort of has with Kikyo. Not necessarily a romantic one, I would say, more so she kind of died because of me sort of guilt, so I feel I should protect her, and we kind of have this odd history, and since our relationship ended in such tragedy, and stuff. It's not even. I never felt like one of the big things about Inuyasha, Kagome, and Inuyasha and Kikyo that people hate Kikyo because they feel like Kagome is the one who should be with Inuyasha and stuff. But I never got the impression, especially up until this point, that Inuyasha was like going to marry Kikyo or be with her in a romantic way. I mean, in Inuyasha's kiss, whatever, Kikyo's kiss or whatever, yeah, he still cares about her. But that kind of is like, I loved you sort of thing. I mean, I think the show elaborates on this more. But Inuyasha's feelings towards Kagome and Kikyo are different, I think. And I think they kind of are they show more of the differences later. Because at this point, what would you guys say is Inuyasha's relationship with Kagome? Like, they're friends. Kagome has feelings for him, but nobody is saying, oh, we're a couple. And that was one of my biggest pet peeves with the show, was that at some point in the show, they act like Inuyasha and Kagome are a couple, and Inuyasha can't see Kikyo or protect her and stuff. And I'm like, well, when did y'all ever become a couple? There was no conversation that said that. I mean, I understand that they like each other, he protects her, but there was never a conversation. And that's kind of why I never was like, oh, I'm never that super invested in feeling bad for Kagome or thinking like, oh, Inuyasha, you did wrong by Kagome. Not necessarily. There's a complex relationships here. Naraku has made everybody's life complex. Sango's relationship with her brother is complicated. Things like that, all because of Naraku. So, yeah. Well, one thing I did like about this episode too, and this is back to talking about the episode, is how the look on Naraku's face when he realizes that Kikyo is alive, or back to life, or whatever. I just find that really amusing. Because I'm like, oh yeah, because Kikyo, I believe, does know about Naraku. I can't remember. Maybe not. She kind of knows about him, I think. I think Inuyasha said something to her about Naraku. I don't remember. But, any case, there's no, like, Kikyo, I think, really just, at the end, you see her open her eyes and look at him. And I think it's kind of, like, supposed to be let me figure out what this guy's up to sort of thing. Like, obviously, she let herself be kidnapped. Clearly. Because I noticed in this episode, she was she was feigning her fainting. Like, when Kagome came to save her, move her out the way, Kikyo was like, you're an idiot, and got up and walked away. I don't remember why she was doing that, but sort of like, I'm getting up, leave me alone, you idiot. Because she really doesn't like Kagome. Probably the only character on here besides Naraku who doesn't like Kagome. Because that's another thing in the show, is that almost everybody likes Kagome. If anybody is like well liked on this show, it's probably Kagome. So it's kind of funny seeing Kikyo kind of be like, leave me alone. But in terms of the episode, I think that is really all I had to say. yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.